G'day viewers, Sep here. Welcome to part 3, and we're going to adjust the points using a feeler gauge. Okay, to adjust them, all we need to do is use a feeler gauge. It's 20 thou, and we need to move this condenser either backwards or forwards to get the right gap. The way we do that is we undo this screw here, and then we slide this condenser either backwards or forwards. But before we do that, we've got to line up that gap to be on its furthest opening, and you do that by turning the engine. Then we just slide the gauge in. Now I've already adjusted these to make it a bit quicker for the video, and it should just neatly poke in without spreading that apart, which it does. So it's a bit of messing around moving this backwards and forwards and getting it correct, but we've done that because they were too tight, way too tight. This gauge would no way known go in at 20 thou. So we've cleaned them, now we've gapped them. Now we'll go on to the next part of the process. We'll just recheck the coil again, because yesterday I didn't realise when I checked, that's the earth wire here. That's what makes that ground to earth, is this wire as well. So I've got to be making sure that I'm touching that more so than just the end. So we'll turn this back on. Let's double check it. It's working, so we put the positive into here, into the spark plug end, and then we touch this to the earth, which we're now getting a reading. So it tells me that this coil may be okay. And the next thing we might check is the condenser. I'll just line that up for you so you can see that. Now, I'm not sure what the reading should be, but I figured if we get a reading, that'll be better than no reading. And we are getting a reading, which is pretty good. So I'd say, since we're getting a reading, I don't know what they're supposed to be, these condensers, but if anybody knows that, that'd be great to tell me. But it looks like it's getting and continuing to climb. I assume that it will be okay. So what I think we'll do now is we'll put the cap back over this. We've adjusted the points, we've cleaned them, everything else looks okay. Got a bit of a reading on the capacitor, and we'll cover it up, and we're going to clean this bit up in here, and then we're going to start working on this condenser. As you can see here, it looks pretty ordinary, pretty dirty. In along here, 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 and we'll redo our earths again, make sure they're really clean, and the flywheel as well needs cleaning, and then put it together and see how we go. Right, I've cleaned that up there, just doing the earths. I've got the cap back on. I've now cleaned the top of that. I've also cleaned the ends of these coils. I've also gone underneath, cleaned that rust off there, which sits on top of that. I've cleaned the top off as well, where we put that back on like so. Next part of the journey is we'll clean that flywheel. I'm in the process of cleaning up this flywheel. Just got a bit of 240 grit sandpaper. Give that magnet a good go over. I think that looks pretty good. What we're going to do now is we're going to plonk this back on and do it back up. So I'll just spin this around I'll show you the keyway. Just going to make sure we get the key back in. So we should be able to line it up. Now I've put a little bit of anti-seize on this as well, in the inside this impeller in the shaft there, just to make it a bit easier if we have to take it off again. So put the keyway in there. That's on there. The keyway's in there. What we do now is put the washer back on. And we spin this down on. Now this has got to be up really tight. So if we don't get this up tight, it may come off. So to do that, we're going to hold this shaft again down underneath, like we did earlier on, with a pair of Stilsons. So I'll just put this pair of Stilsons on this shaft. Now we're going to turn it that way. Okay, so I've got my special tool. Got a hammer. I'm going to put this over the top of it. And we'll just wind it up. Oh, it's got to be tight. Oh. Now what we'll do, so I'll just give it a whack. One whack with this. The hammer should do us. Just put this on here so I don't slip. Here we go. That should do it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this coil pack back onto the mounts and then adjust the distance between the edge of the coil pack and the flywheel. So that's the magnetic part. While I was waiting for the flywheel to dry, when I cleaned it, washed it, I did the carburetor as well. I cleaned that all off with a bit of degreaser so I could see what was going on there for if that's the next stage. So alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this on. So I've got a business card in here. Apparently that's the right thickness to adjust this coil pack from the flywheel. So that's the magnetic part of the flywheel there. I've got the card in there and that's pulling in there as I've got the bolts loose. So that's pulling right in on top of that, right into that magnet side. So if we just tighten that up right where it sits there. To get that out, all you do is just rotate around. Make sure the flywheel doesn't hit into it. Perfect. That's adjusted. So I think what we might do now, consider the time of the day. See you tomorrow.